kay Mr. Ortega and Mr. Perez ay natin. So, ang topic, naka full screen na sa side nyo. Kita na da. Anyone can confirm?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Sige. Ang naman yung objectives natin, striving naman or the benefits and disadvantages of networks, types of networks, ano ang ginagamit natin, communications hardware and media. We'll also delve into discussing details about ni sa ila and the different network topologies, mga network architecture, and also the protocols that we use to communicate sa aton nga mga computers across the network kung amon kung depende sa mga type of network na ginagamit. So for vocabulary additions naman ato no, we have these terms, mga baseband, broadband, topology, client-server network, clients. We also have the communication channel, data communications, Ethernet, the local area network. Then we have the modem, peer-to-peer, the ring topology na term. Also the router, server, star topology, token ring, transmission media, and the wide area network. So by its basic definition, as discussed naman sa first natin sa lesson 2 to, it is a group of two computers na link together is already considered as a network. And how this communication nila and how they transmit data from one location to another is what we call the term as data communications. So this data communication is composed of 5, and each are represented sa aton mga communication devices nga we will pakita ko ni karon. So we identify these components as your sending device, the signal conversion device, the communication path, receiving device, and communication software. So we have a few advantages and also disadvantages of the network. So ang common advantages natin is sharing, information sharing, no? So kung pareho sila kuha tayo information, you can publish either or search for an reference or any article or study, no? It is open to the public, no? Pwede mo na siya makita, ma-search, and also you can use it as your additional information. So that is one of the major advantages of having a network. Kaya ang information sharing is very important gid kaya mo ng shared gid nga feature na sa mo nga setup. And also sa hardware sharing naman, kung client server naman nga setup aron, and also with your software sharing in a collaborative environment. Ang main disadvantage natin gid when you use this network na sa sharing, ang vulnerable, may chance na maging vulnerable kita sa malicious code. So what we tend to do is may mga firewall kita, may mga security software kita nga ginagamit to make sure nga ang mga hacks or mga malicious code hindi makasulod sa ating network. So at the same time, ang creeping problems naman, natural as kung paano set up sa network, hindi man na sila nga constantly nga kung sige nyo gamit, may wear and tear man na siya nga aspect. So later on magka-problema na siya sa iyang system, either sa hardware or sa software niya setup. So also having to investment in hardware and software, and the need for maintenance. Ang isagid ka disadvantage kasi setting up of a network is not purely nga hambal mo libre lang or comes with a cheap price. Kay if you want to involve more computers, kung as the network grows, kung musta mo ang mga client computers ang inabot mo da, so it will also require you to invest more on the hardware and the software for each of those parts, and also for your server, for example. So hindi na sa basta-basta given na yun may maintenance ka pang sa ila after nga sige sila ka-operate ang mga network. So for the network types, may duha ka klase, no? These are the LANs and the WANs, the local area network, in the wide area network. And also we have kumbaga the special types of networks natin. We have the metropolitan area, maning MANs or personal area networks naman, yung PANs and the home area network, HANs in campus or university area natin yung networks. So most local area networks are connected to personal computers and devices in a limited geographical area. So mga habaga nga local, sa term pa lang nga local, aralan na siya sa within the vicinity or say sa ka building or sa ka campus or sa ka block na dasang houses ang muna connection sa muna network. So each device to the network is called a node. Either it's a node or ang nodes na can represent a personal computer or workstation or a printer. Tapos may shared resources naman sa gyapon. So like example a shared printer in a network and also with the programs and other hardware. So we also define wireless versions ng LAN or wireless LAN. Mo yun sa term wireless kaya wala siya sa physical wires or cables to connect each of these nodes to the network. So in this example, we visualize the client-server type of a local area network wherein we connect to the internet internet we connect, and then how its connection and information is distributed through from the server. Ang server ang in charge na mag-distribute, and then may switch tayo hub to designate hindi nga mga parts ng hindi nga mga nodes ng mga network ang maka-receive some information na. So as we get the information from internet, may router kita. We have the modem or router to receive that information and transmit it sa level naman sang communication sa server. But before going to that, I mentioned kanina, the security natin is we have this firewall. So ang purpose in this firewall is to block out mga potential nga mga malicious nga hacks or mga hack sites or mga phishing sites or ini nga mga naka may warning na nga mga naka-flag na nga mga websites nga ma-open. So after filtering out, it will then ang communication will go through the switch in the hub. Then kung pila ang capacity ng isang hub, usually ng each of the computers connected here. So amo na rin setup diri is ang local printer naton, but it goes through this computer sa computer N. Also we have a network printer naman directly connected sa hub, wherein any of those nodes can use this printer for their needs nga mag-print out sila sa mga any of their outputs. So as the connection goes with each of this computer, may allotted din sila nga bandwidth or any capacity nga mahatag nila di for them to function nga mabagay ilang mga task nga designated nila. And also ang atong example sa laptop, either ang connection nila sa laptop sa switch either nga via cable physical, or we can also have them as wireless. Kung may tawag kita isa ang atong mga switch may ara sila nga wifi nga features wherein pwede siya ka sa hotspot to send out signals na makakonect ng mga devices na wireless such as ning laptop naton kag aton mga smartphones. So maning basically nga how your client server LAN works. So when we discuss naman sa wide area naman, or larger coverage of the geographical area, and the internet is what we consider as the largest one that is existing today. So most ones consist of 2 or more LANs connected by routers. Ang routers naman ang connect between those LANs, and also the variations of the one are pareho mo to sa last discussion, considered as intranet or the extranet. So going back to the terms naman, intranet designated for the exclusive use of people within an organization, whereas an extranet, it allows specified users outside the organization to access internal information systems. So, ang one can be hambalang gabi two or more lands considered na siya nga nga one sa nga category. But ang scale sa is ini na-expect naton nga not only within the building or within some block, but it can cover a wider area. But can also be considered as sa internet yung aspect, for example, or ang bala be several buildings na connected, no? Several building, each ng lands ang each of those buildings be naka-connect na sa one, but it's still exclusive sa within those blocks nga ang ilang exchange of information is only within those area. So that is an example of your intranet version of one. So by definition naman, by scale ni siyang metropolitan. Ang metropolitan area network, bigger the area in geography by from a land, pero mas smaller sa one. So mga metropolitan usually within the city or district that is considered as a metropolitan type of an area network. And then for personal network naman, we have this personal digital devices, mga laptops, mga computers nato in our handhelds, but only within the range of 30 feet. Whereas for the home network naman, literally it will contain within a user's home. So when you have several electronic devices that you would want to communicate nga ma-set up mo sa home network, so amo nang basic definition niya nga kung ma-set up sa amo ng network, we call it as our home area network. So sa campus area naman, example sa aton sa university, collection of lands within a limited geographical space, but specific isa sa university campus or school. So mahaba nga isa big college, may land na sila ila, but they are also connected to sa next nga building ang lain man siya nga college nga interconnected mo sila tanan. So that is our campus area network na definition. Now for our network architectures, we have this two popular type na motong ng client server, itong explain ko rin and the peer-to-peer. So by definition naman sa client server network, one or more computers act as a server, tapos nagagamit ito sa NOS or network operating system software and a few software applications nga nasa server na daan. Then all of those computers connected to the network are called your clients or matong nodes natin. Now for the peer-to-peer version, equal siya, mga bagang equal. They are connecting not through a server but direkta na to each of those computers. So we call it the P2P, or sa internet naman, internet peer-to-peer. Users connect directly to each other over the internet. Use the internet as a medium, but directly access na sila sa computer sa isang peers niya. For our communication devices naman, isa na sa mga importante natin to how we could connect to a network, no? So common din natin diyan mo ning mga dial-up modem, mga DSL, ISDN modems. So communication devices facilitate the transmitting and receiving of data, and for dial-up modem enables transmission over analog telephone lines. Amo ning kumbaga una yun natin yung existing type of modem kung paano siya mag-connect sa internet. We use the analog telephone lines as our medium for communication. Then nag-improve sa later on, naging DSL na siya, digital subscriber line na siya, and the SDN or the integrated services digital network. So these modems allow digital transmission over telephone copper wires naman, pero mas higher capacity siya, ang speed niya mas taas, bandwidth yung mas tamo ang data compared to the analog type of telephone lines. So we use cable modem, coaxial cable to send receive data. For wireless modem, may mobile devices naman natin ginagamit to connect through this type of communication device. So for our computers, no, mostly mga bago na mga computers ibang may built-in na siyang network interface card or NIC. So this NIC are used to connect to a network. Kita mo na may connector na sa directly or sa cable. May cable lang siya nga makakonect sa hub mo or directly sa modem. Pwede mo nang i-directa mo kung siya man lang isang na client computer mo. No? So we use this gateway naman for linking these different type of networks that use different protocols. So it involves software and hardware, no hardware configurations on how to link these two different types of networks. So in the definition of a router, amo na yaton nga functions as a direction sa siya control sa network traffic naton. And we have our wireless access points wherein wireless communications are connected in together to create this wireless network. So kung isa mo ni example naton, amo ning duha ni antenna ni sa side, these are your this indicates nga may wireless din sa mga features. So not only nga sa likod din yung mga cables nga pwede yung ma-connect through physical cable butang din sa likod mga ports, but we can also have wireless features sa mga other devices nga gamiton pa nga may wireless man nga option to connect. So a hub is a place of convergence where data arrives from one more directions and is forwarded in one or more other directions. So we define communication channel, no? The link that allows data to be transferred from one computer to another. So mga baltabi yung channel to linear or medium, mga cables, mga wireless, mga wire transmission. That those are examples of your communication channel. So by definition of the bandwidth among the transmission capacity no of the communication channel, mabakabi nga mong pila ka data, mabakabi 1 MB per second. That is the speed or among capacity niya. It can be between among nga range or pwede ya pagid ma-maximize sa kung pila ka megabyte ang pwede ya mahabay nga data per amo nga second or per ini nga time nga gusto ya nga ihabay. So kung high bandwidth media naman ang ginagamit natin naman ng mga cable, fiber, and DSL, ang common term sila is broadband type of bandwidth media. So kung telephone lines naman, baseband naman ang aton nga term. So for the end of communication channel, you have a sending device as kagi naton ang 5 components itong dimension ta sa una. Communication device naton, modem, converts the signal to a form that transmits over a standard dial-up telephone line or a dedicated line. Tapos ang switch naman will establish the link between the sender and the receiver. So by telephone ng amo ning type of signal na i-transmit niya, then mag-abot naman sa receiving end, ang ma-convert naman ang sa pagid ng modem to convert that signal back to a format nga pwede magamit sa receiving device. So sending this data to this channel requires some type of transmission media, either physical or wireless. So for your physical media, ang aton napilian subong are your twisted pair cable amo ning pinaka basic naton sa telephone systems naton. Using these two wires, the first one carries the signal and the other absorbs the signal interference. Whereas for coaxial cable, cable television na mga setup, a heavily shielded type of cable that is less prone to interference than a twisted pair cable. So for the fiber optic type naman, they uses thin flexible glass tubing and ang capacity niya mas taas good as compared mo sa other two, and also less susceptible to interference. In the concept naman of wireless media, you can visualize how this transmission works. No? So these microwave signals are sent in the form of electromagnetic waves in straight lines between microwave stations. So we have these communication satellites you can place in orbit on a specific location to maintain a constant position naman. sa 1 point above the Earth's surface. So from the sender ng amo ning Earth station sa left amo ning send ang data. It will go through the signal through the satellite, tapos ang satellite naman ang separate ang signal sa isa ka receiving end ang amo ning isa biging Earth station sa other location, wherein ang CPU naman nga makakommunicate siya ang ma-convert naman sa transmission to ng signal into a version nga pwede na mabasa ka understand sa ato ni terminal. So amo ni sa from United States ning terminal nag-send sa signal to satellite, then ang receiving end naton is ang sa Europe. And for the IRDA naman, infrared type of transmissions, they use infrared light waves to send signals. Ang Bluetooth naman naton, radio waves na prod are for your cell phones na PDAs and netbook computers within naman lagi nga 30 feet above dira ti hindi na siya ka-receive sa signal. Kagaran din siya lang is within 30 feet. Though ang problem sini we can use Bluetooth naman no, superior ni sa app na to, example mag-share share it ang lagawan ng gamit nila. But ang iyang transmission speed are usually usually mas mas within lang, may speed lang siya nga malabot but not nga hindi nga ma-maximize siya gid nga mas dasig siya as compared sa mga wifi mga setup. So muna sa wifi nato no, network based on 802.11 family of standards governing wireless transmissions. And we have the wireless application protocol. This protocol specifies how user access information instantly through mobile devices such as smartphones and pagers. So mga bago naman protocol naman yung define nato next ata. Wala pa. But this protocol is the rules, set of rules nga gina-define sa mga communication information naton para nga maka-access ang mga users ang mo nga information through our mobile devices. So for network topologies, morning network configuration naman naton, we have these three. We start with bus topology. So by definition of a bus, morning connected to a master cable, morning bus or backbone nila, and wala siyang host computer, and the data can then be transferred and transmitted directions of each of these devices nga connected to the bus or the backbone nila. Now for a ring topology type naman, the devices are connected in a circle. So mga bagong circle, the data travels from device to device around the ring. So kung anong tupad niya to na device, ang next nga device, it will transmit the info and the connection through that that setup amo na nga tawag siya nga ring kay palibot sila it's like forming a circle. So for star topology naman, all devices are connected to a central hub or computer. So that central hub is the data that na transfers no dito siya gagi ang tanan data to send or receive sa mga devices na connected dira. So transfers from one computer to another must pass through that hub. Though ang information is to start ni sa tulokon. So babo ni ang definition ko nasang protocol an agreed upon set of rules and procedures for transmitting data between two or more devices. So kung may networking LAN, mga ginagamit ito ng protocol are these two, the Ethernet protocol and the token ring. So for the Ethernet, ang iyang base topology sa bus, and also gagamit din siya sa atong star topology nga setup. So token ring naman, arranged in the token in a circle. This is using a token, special signal that gets used to travel around the ring, and then amo ng mga data naton yung ginaunod niya dara ni siya embed. So for internet naman, ang aton nga term na nagamit na to, no, is the TCP/IP, or the Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. And it is the major nga do ang malagid siguro subang basic protocol nga ginagamit naton in connecting to the internet. So all computers, including network servers, require an OS, as indicated buntuligad, where you cannot operate the hardware, no, and the application software without using or installing an operating system. Now for a network type, no, NOS or network operating systems, may features na silang administration, file management, print, security, and communications, which is kind of mas gear up siya in serving its function as the as a operating system for the network, aside from the client type of operating system. So muna yung operating system naton for networking, a desktop type and a network type. Kung may desktop type naman nga OS ang tong sa mga client naton, client computers, and the network operating system are usually as a server nga computer. So most desktop operating systems have built-in networking functions. So for summary, babalik naman na sa mga terms na gawin na data communication, transmission of data from one location to another. Network, group of two computers linked together, two or more. Internet ang conduct on network naton. They have advantages and disadvantages. Then in local area network naman, confined in a limited geographical area, wide area, several connected local area networks. Tapos ang types of LANs are the client server and the peer-to-peer network. And the other types of specialized networks includes metropolitan area, personal area networks, home area, and campus area. So you can use network for information sharing, hardware sharing, software sharing, and as a collaborative environment. Now, linking through this data, transmitted through a communications channel, and the transmission data of this media can either be physical or wireless. So this cable naman involved sa atong physical media, and most networks consist of network server ng computer clients. So communications devices facilitate the transmitting and receiving of data, instructions, and information. And for dial-up and cable modems, these are example of your communications devices, as well as mga monitoring interface, gateways, wireless access points, hubs, etc. And network interface cards, enable natin to sending and receiving data between PCs, and a router is what controls or directs your internet or network traffic. So wireless media includes microwaves, let's air the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and again the topologies natin, buzzering and star type of topology in the network. So by definition of protocol, set of rules that is agreed for procedure of transmitting data between two or more devices, and what we usually use in local area network kind of protocols is the Ethernet and token ring. TCP/IP for connecting to the internet is both used by your LANs and your WANs. And all networks computers are required to have an OS as well as the network operating system. So that's a wrap for the network na topic. Any questions or